Good morning. Happy Wednesday morning. I turned off one of my lights. Kind of makes my face disappear there. I'll leave it for right now. It's hard because of this window. I haven't closed the curtains in a while. I probably should do that again. Kind of depends on the time of year. How much light comes in there or whether we're having a full Sunday or whatever. We are not. However, it's warmed up enough that hubby needs to be doing laundry for me while we're doing this. And then it's going to get cold again. So that's the way it goes this time of year. I am excited about this spinning today. Just going to do the second bobbin of the 4 for the fractal spin. Did not get to spin over the last 2 days since I streamed on Sunday. I had intended to. I don't know. There is just two things going on. One, I don't want to sit here all day long, right? Because there are things to do and I don't want to sit in the same place all day long. I want to be up and active. And two, I just have other things that I'm doing right now, and it seems like we are going constantly. We went on errands yesterday and it took 5 hours because we went to grocery and we're going today for a couple errands. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. I should be so lucky, right? I should be so active. So anyway, I got my 2 hours and I'm not going to waste it talking. I'll talk while I spin. Let's go to, not that one, this one. There we go. I tried looking for the camera settings. I couldn't find it on my computer. And I don't have any kind of settings on this camera itself that I know of. The only other thing I could do is possibly switch the one that is doing this one right there and this one, right? Switch the actual physical cameras. I don't know how involved that is, and I certainly don't want to do it right now. So I tried a little bit to see if I could get a better representation of the greens. It looks to me gray because I know it's gray, right? I don't know what it's looking like on your camera, but it is a gray. And the other day they were saying it looked hunter green, so all I did was I took some of the brightness down, and that was the only setting I could find to adjust, so it doesn't maybe bleach out things as much with the light. So how is everybody's week going? Hope it's going well. Mine is. Going fine. Sorry, trying to get a little bit of that white fiber off my fingers, and it didn't want to go. I need to run the sweeper in here. Okay, just a quick refresher. I'm doing a 4-color progression, and it is the gray, the green, the tan, and the pink. That's my 4-color progression, and as you can see on the bobbin that's here, I end in the pink. This bobbin was one of each color, one progression of each color. This next bobbin that I'm going to be doing right now is 2. So I will do the progression once and then do the progression twice. Bobbin 3, which if I have time I'll start today, but probably not. We'll see. Bobbin 3 is 3 progressions, and bobbin 4 is 4. That is the fractal part of the cabled yarn. The cabled part is that it's a 4-ply. 2 bobbins are spun to the left, and then they are applied to the right. Then a second 2 bobbins are spun to the left, and they are applied to the right. And then those 2 bobbins of the 2-ply are spun to the left. Now you can reverse those, but the whole thing is you got to keep them in the right, left, alternate order, right? So I am currently spinning left right now, which is Z. And the bobbin that's on here, this one, and the bobbin that I'm spinning will be plied to the right, which is S. I will wait a day before I apply it, so I won't be applying it today on stream. That is the cable part of the yarn. I need more pull in. And I probably will be repeating that periodically, especially if somebody asks, you know, what I'm talking about under the on a title under there, where I say I'm bobbin 2 of the fractal cable yarn. Oh, my biggest complaint is the weather, and I will say we are very, very lucky. I'm sure there are many, many people, especially in the northeastern area, and are dealing with much, much colder weather, much more snow. I am just intolerant of living in a very old house, very drafty house, and never being warm. And never feeling warm unless I'm in bed. So, I get grumpy this time of year with the weather. We have no snow on the ground. We are perfectly capable of going and doing whatever we want to do. The only thing about any kind of outside work, which really isn't happening right now, is it is sopping wet. The ground is standing puddles in a number of places from the snow melt and from 2 inches of rain that we got last week that melted the snow. So, before the holidays, I got tons of catalogs from, you know, various companies. And I'm literally probably 60, 70 catalogs. Terrible. I just, you know, they can't be recycled. To my knowledge, they won't take the slick paper. We can burn them, and it's a mess because the pages fly all over, and then I have pieces of partially burned paper all over the yard, which I don't like. So I should be responsible and go to each of these companies and say, do not send me any more catalogs. And if I had any sense of responsibility, I'd be doing that. But my problem is, I like looking at them. Right? and every once in a while I buy something. So I thought, okay, it's just a Christmas thing. They're looking for Christmas. Black Friday is kind of non-existent anymore. these these companies don't have brick and mortar stores in the most usually, and they're competing with the brick and mortar stores have fewer and fewer. They've declined, right? So they're turning to the internet, and these catalog companies, I think, are finding that it makes business sense to up their output a little bit in order to catch some of this business that's ending up on the internet. This is my theory, anyway. Anyway, I figured it was a Christmas thing. Well, that's where I was wrong. Now I'm getting the spring versions, and I'm getting a lot of them, and unfortunately, I'm looking at them. I have started weeding out a little bit and doing that process of please don't send me any more catalog, but it's minimal compared to what I'm getting. The bottom line is, yesterday I ordered from Hirschner's. I can say, oh, I don't need clothes. I can say, I don't need anything for the house. I can say, I don't need any other hobby, but yarn or fiber is, of course, my downfall. It is my hobby. It is my curriculum now, right? It's what I do a lot of. I don't do many other hobbies. I do knitting, and I do some crochet, and I do spinning. So anyway, I bought a few things from Hirschner's because they just were deals too good to not do. And it was all yarn. I bought a grab bag. Never bought grab bags before. I bought a grab bag of the cotton yarn, which I would say cotton, so weird, but the cotton yarn that is used for dishcloths and that sort of thing, right? Sometimes towel toppers, just all sorts of things. And I've never bought, I buy the red and green and Christmas colors, but I've never bought colors outside of it. I don't really have a stash of the cotton yarn. So I bought a grab bag of it, and there's 13 in there. Was, oh my gosh, almost, I think it was $15. I mean, it was barely $1 a skein. It was a good price. By the way, I am drinking right away because I don't want it to get cold, even though it's in a thermal mug. This is my own concoction of cocoa coffee. Coca mocha, I guess you would say. Coca mocha. And it's good. It's really good. I'll tell you how I made it here in a minute. But I definitely don't want it to get cold. Alright. Next color is green here, and I need to draft it out a little. So, last night I was cold, and for Christmas I was gifted hot chocolate mix. Where you just mix it in with milk or water. So I went ahead and made a pot of hot chocolate, and I made enough for 2 because once in a while hubby will drink it, but he wasn't in the mood last night. So I had it left over. I stuck it in the fridge, and today I nuked what was left and then poured hot coffee on top of it. So that's how I made my cocoa mocha. It's good. Actually, it's very good. I am a black coffee drinker. I don't really like cream and sugar, but every once in a while I like a sweeter coffee drink that that the coffee shops will make. Right? This is sort of a version of that. I probably would not ever make this in the summer. It's a craving for the wintertime. And the hot chocolate tasted good last night. On very rare, very cold occasions, I will spike it with a strong bourbon that we don't drink because it's so strong. But it's good for putting a little dab in to spike something. And I'll do that, or I'll make a hot toddy, even though I'm not sick, right? Lemon juice, honey, and a little bit of vodka. That's my winter warmer. I'm sorry, I can totally understand why people, you know, that are in cold environments all the time do drink. It just, there is some bit of warming to the core of your body that helps you feel better. The other thing that I end up doing that I don't like, but I haven't done, I mean, I have just recently started doing, because I mind the cold so much, is wearing hats in the house. You know, knitted hats. Hubby's been doing it for quite a few years. And then I have 2 pairs of fingerless mitts. Now, you ask me, where are they right now? Don't need them in here. First of all, I don't think I really want to put a hat on with the headset. But second of all, this is the warmest room downstairs if I keep the door closed to here, and I do. My feet get cold because the floor is drafty, but even though it has carpet, but the floor is drafty, so. Kind of depends how much the wind is blowing, because there is a crawl space underneath the house, totally uninsulated, and the wind goes right through that. So does the cat. He can go outside in the cold weather. He doesn't mind the cold because of his coat. He goes and he sits right in the entryway to that crawl space in the sun, out of the wind. He is no fool, I'll tell you. But he's outside. He loves his freedom. He loves being outside. Don't stick to me. A vegetable bit. I think that came from the gray. But it popped right up on top, that's for sure. One of the things I did do today, this week before, since last stream, is I got the fiber ready for 3 and 4. I found a box to put them in, and I can't get it all in the camera there. I have a progression of 3 on the colors. There's the gray. Look at the grays. You see 3 grays. Okay, so that's 3. I also did it 4. In another box like that, but I had to find something to, I wanted to keep it in order, and I had to find something to sort of line it up in. Those are fruit boxes. We get pears as our treat at Christmas, and that's what the pears are shipped in. They're actually really nice, heavy boxes. I have used them in the past for fiber storage, especially locks, but they have holes in all of the sides, so it makes it pretty possible for things to get into it. It's not good for long-term storage. It's just good for short-term. I've got corduroy pants on. They're kind of like Velcro. You see me stick the little piece that I pull off, the little nip that I pull off. It won't come off my finger because of static unless I stick it somewhere. So I'm already starting to look forward to spring. People can have their winter. I don't want it. Also, I was moving so slow this morning, I didn't get my breakfast, so I have a piece of banana bread to nibble on. I rarely do that. There's one reason. Should not eat and spin at the same time. I just pulled the fiber out of my mouth. In fact, unless I get really hungry, I probably won't eat anymore. What I meant was I rarely eat on stream. I moved my hook, it looks like I did. Yes, I did. Oop. Okay. What happened here? Nothing. Just being honored. Oh, I was talking about ordering from Hirschner's. Besides the cotton yarn, I ordered 2 yarn quote unquote kits. One of them makes a baby blanket, Lapigan, small lap blanket that I have no use for, but I really wanted to try the yarn because it has a background color, and then every so often it makes a couple rows what look like tiny flowers. I just thought the yarn was really cool, and it was ouch. What did Natalie think? It was $15 for the kit. So instead of buying the yarn, I just bought the kit. And I don't know. I may find some place to donate it. I may sell it. I'm not sure what. I have so many projects going, it's probably just going to fall in the pit of I'll get to it sometime. And the same way with the third one that I bought. It's a kit, and it's crocheted, and it's just a great big, huge cardigan. Not really a cardigan. Bed jacket. I mean, it's long. It goes down below your hips. It has long sleeves, but it's pretty boxy, open. Should go real quick. It only came in light blue, which is fine. I'm like, okay. I call those reading jackets. And it is something that I use. I mean, it makes sense to have here in the wintertime. If I'm sitting and I have a blanket over my lap, it's nice to have something over my shoulders. So, those are the three things I ordered. And they're really, I'm very excited about them. Hope they go quick in their knitting, crochet, and whatever. But first, I'm going to finish the socks that I started. That's the first thing. I also determined that I have 2 pair of socks that has, each pair has one sock that needs some kind of alteration. It is so weird, but I knit these in the past. I have worn them repeatedly. But the foot is about an inch too short. I can stretch it and wear it, but if you put the 2 socks together, you can see distinctly that I didn't get the length on it like I thought I was getting for some reason. So I need to, I always knit top down, so I'll take the toe out and take care of it that way. The second pair, I put a lifeline. It was one I knit for Sock Madness, and I had to make a certain length, the 9 inches, which is way too big. So at the point where I normally put the toe in, I put a lifeline in, and all I have to do is take those back to the lifeline, pick up the stitches, and start on toes. I have been meaning to do those forever. I mean, it's so easy, right? The other pair with the foot being too short, I have to decide the pattern and look and see if there was anything going on during the foot. I don't think so, but I have to look up, where I knit it, what pattern I knit, because I'm pretty sure I have that in Ravelry, and figure out if there's a pattern I have to be following. Okay. I am getting no electric to this. Oh, I think my power box is failing. Oh, it's plugged in the back there. There we go. It's blue lights on now. Come on. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. This is not good at all. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, you're plugged in here. Okay. So it's probably this extension cord that's going. To okay, if I yell, I'm gonna get shocked. I should not have that problem, but it is really stuck in there. There we go. Alright, that is something I'm going to have to deal with off stream. If it gives me any more trouble. All I did was flip which side of the extension cord I plugged into. That's a nice shot of the bobbin. You can see the four colors together there now. Nope, three of them. The tan is covered up. My gray is going to end up back on top of the gray. I need to move this. I need to move this. There we go. Wish list. Woolly winder for the Roberta. That would be nice. I was shopping for my grandson's upcoming 10th birthday, which will be March 1st. It's gonna, turning 10 years old is kind of a, what do I like getting? But I found some cool things, and I think I've settled on one. But my point is the thing. So I'm looking at where a website that has their stuff divided by age, and it's 12 and up. I decided to look there. Excuse me. Which basically means it might appeal to adults too. And I'll tell you, the thing that caught my eye is called Extreme Dot to Dot. They have tons of these books, right? And you know what I'm talking about. You start with number 1, and you find 2 and 3 and 4, right? And you end up with a picture. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Not his thing at all. I know that. Not his thing at all. But I really liked them. But instead of buying any for me, I decided that I would. They had every one of the different books. They had download a sample page. I was like, score. Downloaded a bunch of those. And then it's like a crossword puzzle, right? I still do crossword puzzles in pencil. In case I make a mistake, I gotta erase it, right? My grandmother in her 80s adored crossword puzzles, bought them by the book, and did them in pen. Well, for one thing, that's what she could see, but for the other thing was she was like, neat as a pin with pen, right? Maybe they were easy crossword puzzles. What I tend to do is the one in the newspaper, which is a New York Times crossword puzzle that's syndicated, right? Not easy. Anyway, where I'm going with this was to do those dot-to-dot pictures the best, you take a fine felt pen so that you get a good solid line. I mean, it doesn't pay to do even in pen ink. Maybe a black ink would be all right, but what I'm saying is to get a true picture out of it, you need that thicker line that you do with. And I saw one place where they actually sold a pack of fine line markers along with the books, right? They had the same idea. But what if you make a mistake? You print it over. In my case, you print it over. You buy the books, it's harder. I agree. It's harder. But since I'm printing these out, I'll just print it over. So, marker it is. Besides, the only way I'd make a mistake, I'm sure, is if I stopped and forgot what number I was on. You'd have to put a little sticky note on it. I need number 212 next. Because I'm serious, they have hundreds of numbers. They're quite intricate, quite challenging, and that's the whole point. Nobody wants to do a dot-to-dot that is 50 numbers, except very, very young children learning their numbers. And the website I was shopping from obviously is used to selling for homeschool, because they would have lesson plans. Because this is a website where it really is supposed to be teaching something. The child builds something, or learns some scientific fact or something like that. It's called Mindware is the website. It's a pretty cool website. Alright. This is spinning so nice. Blues music makes me think of summertime, outdoor concerts on the riverfront. They have a blues festival on the river every year, or used to. They haven't for a couple of years, obviously. Nobody's done anything. One of my goals is to try and post whatever I finish this year, the 2022, and on my Discord. I think I've given up ever doing my blog again. The podcast gets posted to the blog page, and that's fine. That's a good archive of that. But for me to update the blog page with what I'm doing and all that, it's so much more convenient to do Discord because it's right on my iPad. I take the picture with the iPad. It's just a matter of minutes doing it. So I have decided that's probably my best record keeper for the year. And periodically I will post the link here in the chat. The link to my Discord is always on Twitch on my channel, in the corner where they have all the different links. I have linked Discord, I've linked my blog for the podcasts, I call it podcasts, and I've linked one other thing. What have I linked here? Senior moment. Oh, you don't need to be big. Thank you. Discord, podcasts, the daily spinner journal that I have for sale, and I also linked the blog, which, like right now, I'm not doing anything other than it's sort of a duplicate for the podcast. Anyway, there's a lot of years of entries on that blog, if you're into that kind of thing. Every once in a while, I go back in search of information on a fiber that has been in my stash a long time. Sometimes I can find information there. I have been Yarn Spinner's Tales on the internet for years now. So Googling that will get you a lot of hits of what I have been doing over the years. Kind of walking down memory path here. It has gotten almost impossible for me to do podcasts anymore It's my goal to try and put one out this weekend. So, I'm still trying. When I spun that first bottom, it felt like it took forever. But the thing was, I spent most of the stream setting it all up. So I didn't have a whole bunch of time left. But it sure feels like this is going a lot faster. For some reason. This is almost gone. It's definitely down to lukewarm, so probably I won't finish that. Oops. 2 pieces. Yeah, dividing the fiber into thirds is kind of weird. You have to fold it. You can't fold it in half or fours, right? You have to kind of fold it so that you lap this length, this length, this length, right? When you're trying to do a piece of roving over it divided into thirds. I don't know. That actually probably didn't show on the stream what I was talking about. So you have a length of roving like this. You have to divide it so that you have a third, and then a third. I did that up here by my... I realized I did that out of camera, I think. So I have a Romandale fleece that I bought as SAF last fall that really needs to be taken care of. That's my next, because it's not washed yet, and I don't like leaving my fleeces in the grease that long. So that is on my immediate do soon list. Not a bad time of year to be drying fleece because the bathroom door stays closed. It's hanging from the shower curtain rod on a mesh dryer thing, and it's blown right on it, right? Good time of year for drying fiber. Doesn't dry it out, it just gets it dry quick. Better than when it's so humid. I don't have quite the problem I used to once we got central air that fixed that. It used to be a real problem trying to get things dry with the humidity. Now you can see all four colors. Tan, green, gray, and pink. Not exactly the progression. Progression starts with the gray. But you can sort of visualize as this bobbin gets plied with the one here that has the solid colors all together in a row. You're going to start getting that little bit of color play. I don't know what I like better about this style of yarn, the color play or the 4-ply, that feel of that yarn. It's not the roundness of a chain ply. It's very distinct. It's not sharp, harsh, it feels really different than any other kind of yarn. It has extreme sturdiness, right? Because it's like braided. To be honest, if I think out of the box, one of the coolest things to do with this style yarn would be macrame. And I have done macrame in the past. The other thing is, of course, weft for weaving. I cannot remember. The one I made before, I believe, has purples with it. My thought being maybe taking those two to my daughter and saying, weave it with a solid color, like give her a tan or gray or something compatible, and make a scarf for me on a loom. That's always a possibility. Should probably say, sit down, go for it. I don't have the time. Yeah, that could be true. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that as long as it was warped. I don't want to warp it. Just buy her some warp. That pre-wound warp is expensive, but boy, that's nice. You don't have to have a warping board. It comes ready to tie on. Whew, I'm chilled. Whew, going right up through my feet. I'm sure there's a mathematical equation that would figure out what colors meet with what, because if you start at the end with this color, your first two plies are going to be, this color and half of the next one, and then the next one's going to be a third of this color coming in, and the other one's going to be a fourth of this color coming in, if you see what I'm saying. It's mathematically very mathematical. That was a stupid statement, but very mathematical. Obviously. I know there are knitting patterns that use different math formulas. Pi being one of them, but alright. Common 1 and 2 done. And it all looks pink. Gosh, they almost look alike, don't they? That's weird. That's mathematical. Math in action. Okay, I am going to go to Robin 3, which is the 3 colors repeated 3 times. It looks kind of messy in there, but they're in order. So to get these 4 things, I took the original 4 colors, which were 1 ounce each. I split it so that I had 4 that were about 0.25 ounce, quarter of an ounce. And then I took the first one and spun those 4 colors, quarter of an ounce. Second one, I split in half. Third one, I split in thirds. Fourth one, I split in fourths. So I was splitting 0.25. It seems like there's a lot of fiber for that little of a weight, right? But and as I have said before, the nice thing is, unlike chain plying, when you ply this, you get the entire length. You don't lose any in the ply, any of the length. So I have no idea the amount of yardage I'll get, but this will be a little instructive because I know I started with 1 ounce of each color. 4 ounce total, but what makes the whole 4 ounces, the 4 different colors makes the length. So yes, I get a ballpark of what I can get out of 4 ounces doing this, which should be similar to a 2-ply, really. Maybe a little less, but gotta turn it on before you draft. Drafting without it going around. I was going to take a stretch break. I will do that after this one. Unlikely I'll get through the entire 4 ounces here before the hour is up. But that wasn't 4 ounces. That was... Okay, do the math here. That was a quarter of an ounce. Huh. Makes it sound terrible, doesn't it? Quarter of an ounce in an hour? Good grief. That is partially because I'm not doing worsted. I'm doing woolen. And that's a pinch and pull method. Okay, now, stretch break. My legs need it too. Oh. My back. Oh. Wish list number 2 item. Better computer chair. That's also on the list. That'll come before the woolly winder, that's for sure. Kind of half looking for a good sale. Been watching, but what? President's Day sale now? Maybe. These splits of the roving get progressively thinner and thinner, which actually makes them harder to draft because they want to split apart. I have never done this without doing the 4 colors. I know that, I mean, you can do even numbers. The 3 would be hard. You basically have to have even numbers so that you can apply two bobbins, right? If you do three, I'm not saying it's not possible. If you do three, whoops, that was a bad joint. You would do 3 bobbins like I'm doing, a 1 progression, 2 progression, 3 progression. And then you would either chain ply those 3 or you would 3 ply it, but it probably technically wouldn't look like, it's not a cabled yarn at that point. It's a 3 ply, right? So you can't call it a cabled yarn. The 4 ply makes it the cabled yarn. So yes, you could do it with 3 on, as long as you're willing to ply an odd number somehow without making it, even with the 2 bobbins, making one of the plies. I've never tried a 3 ply. I might try that sometime. I should write that down in my spinning. I have a little sheet here I keep of possible spinning projects when I think of things like that. Let's see if I can find that. Spinning experiments. That's what I call it. And yes, I have a pile of notes here on my desk. Alright, here is fractal 3 ply. Probably been done, I'm sure. I'm not the first one to think of all this stuff. Make the 3 ply, make 3 bobbins, then chain ply or 3 ply them. Okay. Note made. That sounds like that could be fun. These fibers that I got, from the 3 exchange partners, give me this little bits of amounts to do this kind of play with. I know a lot of people are making mini skeins and knitting socks or shawls or whatever with them. And I will have a number of mini skeins out of the 3 fiber exchange boxes. Just realized I may be making a skein for the state fair this year. Wow. Okay. I just spun the wrong color. I missed. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, good. Whew. But the other thing I'm wowing about is there seems like such a little amount of each color, right? Because now we're into the divided into thirds. I'll end up with the same amount on the bobbin, but the color changes are quicker. What would I have done if I really had spun the wrong color? Pull it off, wrap it around my hand, and then just run it in after I did the right color next. Totally legit. Like I said, they're getting so thin, they're not very even, they're thick and thin. But I can fix that a little bit with the pre-drafting. Also, the different lengths of how much color I get for this third of 0.25, it depends on how it drafts, right? But that'll be consistent through all four bobbins, so it doesn't matter. Because I draft the same way. So I am getting the least amount of color distance with the tan and the most with the gray, and the two dyed fibers are reacting about the same, somewhere in the middle there. There was a news article today. It was from California, though. I mean, it wasn't our local news. It was on the, I guess, on the national. But anyway, two alpacas decided to take a walkabout. You hear about this every now and then. They got out of their enclosure. They were being chased for 2 hours. They were outwitting them the whole time, and But what was really funny is their names were Boogie and Woogie, and so they were playing the Boogie Woogie music along with the piece. It was pretty cute, but was a red-brown one and a white one. They did, of course, eventually find their way to letting somebody catch them and lead them home. What does this have? This had a lot of short stuff in it. Boogie Woogie. What a cute name. Wonder if they were related, if they were siblings. Alpaca. Okay. Alpaca, I think, only have single. I don't think they ever have multiple furs. I may be talking wrong, but that's what I think. I will say that I just visually did these divisions. I didn't weigh it. I did not get that specific. actually gonna get this third bottom done, I think. And very focused this morning. Alright, this needs to get worked into there. Somehow. I think I finally ran out of stuff to talk about. Ooh, boy, that's messy. Wow. I'm going back to the drawing. I don't like that at all. Okay. I forget what flavor this is. Let me. Yeah, no prepped blue face luster for both the pink and the green. Blue face luster is amazing. I love it. Last set of colors. Ooh, boy, that looks short. I'm really, honestly, I was pretty careful about the division, but sure. Aha, there is some down here. Okay, that's what happened. A little bit fell out. I thought it looked a little short. Always check the floor. I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times I have gotten up from streaming and one of the colors is on the floor. Alright, let's see if I can get this to all hooked together. I do love this gray color. Oh, my goodness. It reminds me of alpaca. That I don't think I've had such a true gray. It's always been mixed with browns and tans. And, maybe a Jacob or, let's see, what's the other? Or Leicester especially will have multicolor locks. In fact, I think this has alpaca with it. Roundy and alpaca. Yeah. So they have to be both that gray color, which is really pretty. Yep, no dye. I had to make sure, but you can just tell natural colors. I can anyway. Usually. So if I can really make myself do it, I will spin bobbin 4 before Friday. And do the 2-ply. And actually on Friday's stream, I'm hoping I can make the fractal yarn. That's my goal. So it and that sort of fits in with when I was starting this, saying it should take me about the week of streaming, but it's going to take me a little more spinning beyond the streaming to get it done. But it would get it done by Friday. So we'll see. That's only one day, because it's got to rest. So, yeah, if I spin one bobbin tomorrow, and I should be able to, and ply the bobbins Friday morning, because the plying bobbins don't need to rest. In fact, I really don't want them to rest. I want them to have that little bit of extra twist available. If I wait too long, it will naturally settle out. I don't want that to happen. That's just to help ply already plied yarns. They have to have that little extra twist. If you think about singles, they have a little extra twist when you ply, it settles into the ply. So when you ply the bobbins for the fractal cable yarn, you have to overply a little bit, get a little extra twist, so that that can settle in when you ply it with the other 2-ply, if that makes sense. It's a very premeditated yarn. Very, very premeditated yarn. body's ready to get up. And I have just one more color. I'm going to do it. It's just a sliver of spinning here left. Alright. The end is in sight. And I am not even gonna look for somebody to raid. My body is like, you need to stand up soon. Sooner than later. So I will do that. Get a little bit of warmth back in my feet. They are not asleep, but they are chilled. In spite of socks and slippers. That has been a great productive stream. I know there was no chatters this time. I'm not surprised. Wednesday morning, everybody's working. I get that. I'm not worried about it. I will be back Friday evening. And hopefully, so will some of the others so we can chat. But it's been a nice, quiet stream, and I appreciate that. And we'll be end of Bobbin 3 here. Woohoo! can never get twist to stay on the end of the thing, but that's probably good because it helps me find the end on the bobbins, right? It doesn't get buried down into the thing. Well, Waterfly, welcome. I've just been rated. So, welcome everybody. Hatsune 86. I love that. Waves crash, butterflies fly. You've been rated by Waterfly. Let's spread our pollen of love. What a nice thing. You just missed it all. I hate to say this. I have been on for 2 hours, which is usually my limit. And I have been spinning, and I am so sorry that I have completed what I was going to do today. The spinning goes really good. I will go back. I will tell you all about it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back to this, where my wheel is. It's an electric wheel. Can't see real good. I have 3 bobbins done right now, okay, in a specific progression of colors. So I'll show you. This will be the 4th bobbin because it's going to be 4 bobbins in all. So these are the progression of colors. We've got a pink. We start with the gray. The gray, okay? We have a gray, we have a green, we have a tan, and then we have a pink. And then we repeat them. And on the first bobbin, we repeat it once. On the second bobbin, we repeat it twice. Third bobbin, we repeat it 3rd time. And 4th bobbin, we repeat it 4 times. Then these 2 bobbins get plied together. And this and the one I haven't spun yet gets plied together. And then the resulting 2 plies get plied a second time together. And that results in what is listed underneath my title there, right down there. It's a fractal cable yarn, and that is what I'm in the process of making. So it is really lots of spinning better. Make sure you don't get dizzy. I'm not going to get dizzy. This is my lifeblood. I love spinning. So that's what I did on the stream. If it intrigues you, you can go back and watch the video. I do a lot of talking about it on that. But otherwise, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to write your names down so I can go and follow if you are streamers. And I know Waterfly is, so I will definitely go and give you a follow. That's so nice. Thank you, Bandit. She comes in. She's not really a spinner, but she comes and watches a lot. Mass Bandit, I hope you're doing good today. I think I got... personalized patchwork. Hi. That sounds like a business name. Yes, I am sorry too. Now, I will be back Friday night. If you all are familiar with this time, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So, at this point in time, it's 1 p.m. This coming Friday, in this time zone, I will be on at 7 p.m. And then I also stream on Sunday afternoons, and sometimes that's a little easier to catch for a lot of people on Sunday afternoons at 3 p.m. So hopefully you all will come and catch me then. And I wasn't going to raid, but I think I will. Let me see who's on. Anybody else got a suggestion? Someplace you all want to go next? I will take you there. The raid train is going, leaving the station. Let's see who's on here. KB Fibers. Let's see what she's pattern writing. Excalia is doing crochet, C2C crochet, How's that sound? Chen Chen Chenoa is doing crochet. Looks like we have recommended number of crochet channels. Awkwardish Panda is not doing, it's, I think it's sewing. Work on the bag, doesn't say what thing. Leather. Stream Raiders and Smite. Anybody got a preference? Let's see. Pattern writing or crochet? Crochet is doing Stream Raiders, if that's something. Let's go to Excalia. How's that sound? All right. I get to choose anyway. Bottom line, right? Love you all. That's great. Let's see someone new. Okay. That would be Awkwardish Panda for me. I have not seen that. Or Springfield Leather. Those would be the two new ones. Panda is cool. You've seen her before? She does have a fair number of viewers. All right. We will raid that. I'm perfectly willing to do that. If I spell it right. I'm not used to rating. Sorry, I'm a little awkward with it. Okay, that should be right. Nope, I have to do the exclamation point. That's what I always get backward. All right. That didn't work either. I wonder if she doesn't allow raids. Yeah, well, it told me invalid username when I did that. That's what I thought. Oh, wait. I'm misspelling it. Where are you? Oh, yeah. It's AWK. That's what it is. That's why it was invalid. That's why it was invalid. We got it. It's intended for mature channels, so be an adult. No, just kidding. You all have a great rest of your week. I will see you Friday night. Bye.